Alrighty, guys, what is up? Welcome back to another episode of Satisfactory Update 8 with Lone Debater 7. And today we are going to be taking a look at building a automated production line for heavy modular frames. That's right, we've got 3 manufacturers set up here with the recipe slotted and some of the factory laid out. This is up by our truck station, by our hub. I went ahead and adjusted the pipelines down here, kind of added some power, some of the pre-build infrastructure, just so we kind of have at least kind of a guide for how we're going to set this up. Um, we have access to truck station right here from our oil refinery in case we need like plastic or rubber for any of the stuff we're building here. Ultimately, we're probably going to move a lot of the storage from our hub area down below and move it up by this truck station, and then have something that just buries material from down there up to this level, so we can then get our storage up here where our truck station is, so we can use this to expand out and have truck stations that handle the items we use to build things and can ship them between them. I might wait until I get trains, just because trains could be a little bit better, or monorail, whatever they call themselves, but that's fine. That's going to be later down the road. It'll likely happen at some point. I'll move some storage up here or expand this area, so stay tuned for that. I do plan on continuing to play the save. We're not too far away from getting the next phase. We almost have the versatile framework built up, and realistically, the 100 control units, I think, or computer control units, whatever the little circle dudes are, and then the 500 motor units, I think, are what those are. Those are not too far off. They're not too difficult to build per se. Like, you have to set up these manufacturers for them, but that's okay. We'll do that at some point. Anyway, point being, if you're new, be sure to subscribe to the channel, because we will be continuing to play this through and showing off how to build things that you're likely going to need if you're trying to progress in, Satisfactory Update 8. Now, forewarning, I'm playing with a couple of mods. All the mods that I'm using are in the description below. Refined Power and Buildable Resource Nodes are the two that I'm using primarily. That's where these guys come from and how I'm getting my power. But don't worry about it. It shouldn't impact anything about today's episode, except the resources to run this build are coming from Buildable Resource Nodes. So yeah, not a big deal. I just use that so I can not have to worry about transporting or from a million miles away or going a million miles away to build an item. It just makes it a little easier, and I can then make the factory for you on camera very easily. Then you can take this build with the total number of input resources, what nodes you need, etc. And then you will have the ability to take that information and use it in a non-modded game play, or like save, because you can just find a pure node, right? If you need a pure iron node, you can go find one of those on the map, and then, okay, you only need one of those, for example. Maybe you need more. I don't actually know what this build's going to take. I haven't calculated it. I'm just kind of doing it on the fly, and we'll do that at the end and give that to you at the end of the episode, so stay tuned for it. But anyway, if we do something like that, we could have potentially the ability for this, even though it's being done in a modded gameplay series, to translate to someone playing just the base game. So even if you don't want to mess with the mods, you should be able to use this factory design. Sorry, that was kind of long-winded, but anyway, that's the bottom line. We are going to build this out. I just thought I'd frame this room while I was talking there, because it felt like it was going to take me a minute to say what I wanted to say. Alright, so we've got this level. We're trying to build heavy modular frames, and if we think about it as just an individual machine type perspective, so We just want to run one of these machines making heavy modular frames. We're going to get 2 of them per minute as a result of running it. It's going to cost us 10 modular frames, 30 steel pipe, 10 encased industrial beams, and 200 screws per minute to provide those 2 heavy modular frames. So quite an expensive recipe. You use this in a lot of stuff though. So grabbing or getting this set up is going to be quite useful. I'm going to do the screws up here because they're pretty easy to set up, I think. Or they should be fairly easy to set up for us. So I think I'm going to leave that piece open. Go 1 and 2. And what I could do here is I could actually build a second floor above and put 2 more right there, and then the screws are kind of compartmentalized right here. And that did not take up a lot of space. Then I could try to fit some of the other stuff up here. I don't know. I guess it doesn't matter. Let's just see. I know it's going to take 4 constructors to make the screws, though, because I'm going to use this alternate cast screw recipe. Takes 12.5 iron ingots per minute to make 50 screws a minute. 4 of those bad mammas will get us the 200 screws we need per minute to run our manufacturer. So in total, I'm going to need 12 of these constructors, but it's going to be 4 per machine. The only potential thing with that is I'm going to need another merger, and I don't like how that logistics is going to work out. So, and I just say that because I have my doors situated here. This one, let's do it this way. Let's align it off of this merger's center point. Okay. Build another one right next to it. Okay. It's doing 50 a minute. That's doing 50 a minute. So they can be Mark 1 belts. Easy enough. This goes into a Mark 3, so I know I need another merger above this to take the inputs of 2 more of these machines. Now I could, if I leave this as the walkway, right, I could do something like this. Run a merger from here, and then use a conveyor lift to port it into that side. Then I don't have to take this building any taller per se, or at least not for the screws. It'll just be if I want to put other production up here. So let's go into this. We're going to want to lift. It does need to be a Mark II for this piece. So do something like that. Mark II belt, straight across, bam. So we will have to build this 2 high. It'll likely be a 3 or 4 high floor anyway, just because of what's going to be required. So I've got 7 on this. Do I really want to just slam it there? Guess not. We'll use this power pole until it's close to getting maxed. That's 6. So let's actually grab one of these. Bring it to like right there. Bring another one to like right there. We'll put one more down at this side. Now I know I can use the wall power plugs, and I do have them along the wall. I just kind of want to have those available as well. So, okay. These are our screws. In order to run these, we're going to need smelters. So each smelter is going to do 30 iron, so it's going to be 1 smelter per 2. So that's 1. And we can put the second one like here. That's 2. Then these are going to need to go through a splitter. Cool. I set those right. Yes, I did. Grab a splitter. Those are just going to take our 30 iron ingots these smelters are going to generate and put it into 2 stacks 15. It's a little more than what we need to run 2 constructors with the screw recipe, but it'll see us through. So that means I need a normal iron node for each manufacturer just to make the screws. If you're using tier 1 miners, I'll likely end up using a tier 2 miner because it's going to make more sense, but assuming you're just using the basic stuff, that's what it's going to cost. So if I ran it with a tier 2 miner, that would run more than just this, which is why I'm going to end up doing that. But let's go ahead and place the rest of these. See what we're working with room-wise. So there's 2 more. 3 and 4. So that actually does fit. There's 2 there. And I guess what we'll do, we'll just run it in the big merger chain. Cool. So that's the second one. Now these all need recipe set. They need to be plugged into power. And I still need to set up the smelters. So we'll do that next. Let's go ahead and grab power from the wall. Kind of just see what we're left with. We'll probably use the power poles that are out on the floor to run the smelters, just because it'll be a little bit shorter of a wire. Not that that matters too much, but it's kind of what I wanted. So we'll do something like that. Is that right? Yeah, I think so. This should be fine. So in total, I'm going to need more than 120. It's going to be, so that's 60, 120. I'm going to need 180 total ore to run all of the screw constructors. So that's a pure node with the Mark II miner running a little less than full capacity. So I'm just going to place the rest of these constructors and the smelters just so we can see what we have as far as the footprint of the building is concerned, because I might be able to do a little bit more up here, because if I make a Mark II pure iron node, that is going to provide me with a total of 8 smelters doing their thing, right? Instead of just 6. I only need 6 to run the screws. So, might be worth taking a look at, because there is other stuff that's going to require iron. Now, I don't know how much steel we need. Maybe the ingots coming off, so that we'll have a total of 60 iron ingots beyond what our screws are going to eat from a single pure node. So we might be able to get away with making our steel with the remaining 60. I know we need pipes. We also need encased industrial steel beams. Those both take steel, and I don't know, we're likely going to need more than a single pure node is my guess, but that's okay. So, alright, we've got those set up. Now I need to get iron ore up here, and I need 180 to run these 6. What is the steel potential? I could make a little bit of steel up here and then pipe it down to the lower floor. So if I take a look at that, that's going to be a foundry. And I've got 2 smelters worth of iron. This is all going to get rearranged. I'm just kind of placing this stuff. I know for the foundry, I'm going to need a constructor for coal dust. And then let's see. So to make steel pipe, I need 30 steel a minute. I think it's steel plate that I need to make the encased beams. Concrete and steel beam. So steel pipe is 20 a minute per constructor for 30 of them. And then steel beams, 60 of them for 15. So I'm going to need 2 of these. And that's 48. And this is 15, so I need more than 3 of them. Wow. Okay, we're going to need a lot of steel. Now, the steel pipe should be a little easier. Just double check that what we're trying to make. So we need 30 steel pipe a minute. So we need like 2 foundries in order to make the, to feed one of the manufacturers. Now, if I put carbon dust in here, it's 40 coal per constructor, so I can run 3 of them from a single pure on a Mark 1. We'd be using this recipe, which is 15 iron ingot and 45 carbon dust to give us 30 ingots. So with the remaining 2 iron ingot smelters that we can run 4 foundries. So I think I will do that at least. It makes sense. We're going to have an ore line up here anyway. And this split is going to be interesting. So let's kind of take a look at that. Well, where do I want the iron ore? I guess we'll put the node like right here maybe. So we'll place the splitter, first splitter like right here. I'm going to have to go get supplies, that's fine. We'll just take the hypertube down to the hub. So if I put this here, right? This is going to have 240 coming in. I need to get that 240 into 8 lines of 30. So that means 240 and 240 is 120, 120. So I can take this and feed it 120. And then I think for the second one, what makes sense, because those are going to get split, it's going to be 240 in, 120 out, another 120 out. And I'm going to have 2 lines of 60 coming off of each one of those. And those need to be split here. So I know I'm going to have a splitter like somewhere here, right? Okay, easy enough. Actually, what may make more sense is to put the splitter for this like right there. Go boom. And then do something like that. Now this needs to get a line of 60. This is getting 240. This is a 120 coming in. So this 120 would end up providing the 60 that these 2 need. Then split. Okay, perfect. That's fine. This is 240. That's 120 into a 60. I'm going to have another 120 coming in like right here. Is that right? 240, 120 would be a 60. So actually it'd be down further. This one needs another line coming off of it, which will come in right here. Something like that. And that will be coming from this guy. Try to give these a little bit of height. I don't know. I think it just kind of makes sense. That way I still have a little bit of maneuverability. Really, that won't do that, huh? That's fine. We'll do something like that then. This is a 120. I know I'm almost out of iron plate. That's why I was trying to look at trying to get these other ones set up. So 120, 260s. And then I guess the other 120 line will come right here. Split there. Then I guess it'll end up splitting right there is what we'll do. Cool. Would like to place these. These are off center, which is kind of annoying. Not exactly sure why. Weird. I don't know why these are off, but they are. Fair enough, I guess. Okay, let's go get materials. I know I need iron plate. I actually need quite a bit of things, so we will go get that right now. Get this too. That'll take us to the hub. So we almost have the screws built. Or like the constructors are basically there. I didn't realize I forgot to connect some of the belts in between. So we'll do that real quick, just so they're ready to roll. Make sure everything's powered. And that'll be ingredient 1 of 4. Yeah, I know. This is going to be a long episode, I guess. It is a fairly complicated recipe, and you need to build en masse a lot of different items. So it takes some time to do that. So hopefully you like getting a walkthrough. That's what this is going to be. So that's kind of the format. Hopefully that's what you were looking for. If you want something shorter, I guess what you could do is run this on faster playback speed. Would be an option for you. I do want to grab our silicon stuff and our Caterium wire. I'm not really using the Caterium, but the silicon I am. That's how I'm able to build those windows, is those take silicon. So we'll just do that. That's probably enough to see us through, at least the screw portion. Might have to come back down and grab reinforced iron plate at some point, but this is not too long of a transit. Going from the oil base back to here, that takes a long time. It's like 2-3 minutes. So yeah, I do have computers automated. It's just out at the oil base. I did that off camera because I wasn't sure how many times I'd have to come back and forth. so I figured the video would be a bit too long. Um, but I do have computers, so I can build stuff. Anyway, we will show off how to set up a computer build at some point in this playlist, because I believe we're going to automate something that takes computers. So screw is almost done. After that, I think we'll do steel pipes. We might be able to squeeze steel pipes up here, possibly. So these are all linked. Great. I'm going to need splitters to link these. So let's do that. There are those. Cool. I just wanted to get power set up for these, and we can do the logistics for the ore into these back smelters. So those are set. This one just needs that. Now we need to split these into their respective. Okay, that's super annoying. Not exactly sure why that's happening either. So, that's okay. We will just break this stuff. Replace the smelter so they're in line with the constructor. It's just the way it's going to be. They won't be center on the foundation, but it's more important that I can get the belts built. Okay, easy enough. Okay, everything's yellow light, meaning it just needs resources, so that's good. So this is 60, this needs a 120 line, which is going to come off of this bad mama. And that, I am going to use a lift. That is the wrong side. Shoot. Actually need the lift on this side. Same idea though. I don't like having the conveyor poles just because they get in the way when you're trying to walk. So there we go. Cool. That's good to go. We just need to throw in our iron miner. Now let's take a look. This is going to generate a total of 60 extra iron ingots that I can utilize. So let's actually just kind of get them belted at least. 60. Right there. Okay. Now 60 should run a couple of foundries. And let's see. So it's 2 for each one. So I can actually run 4 of these. Now, that is only 2 of these per carbon dust. So I need to build carbon dust back here, which I could actually do right in this spot. I think I'm going to need 2 of them. So this is 100 per minute. And each of those is going to take 45. I'm trying to run 4, so yeah. I'm going to need 2. But okay. So there's that. This just takes coal. So I need to put coal into this area. So the coal, I know I'm going to need more steel than what I'm making up here, but 4 of those, each making 30, should give me 4 constructors making steel pipe, which would be a total of 80. I think that's enough to run almost all 3 machines. I might be able to get enough to make all 3. So that's only 80. I'm going to need a total of 90. So I will need 1 more, is the thing. Kind of annoying. That's not a very nice ratio. Slightly more than what you would want. Okay, that's fine. So put 2 of them there. And then I'll probably put another 2. Actually, these should go forward 1 more tile. Plug them in. Recipes are all going to be this alternate carbon steel. And I suppose what I could do is actually build the extra foundry. Yeah, why not? Let's do it. So 200. That should be enough to run all that, I think. Off these 2. So, okay. Need to put the coal into here. I think I will merge it. Needs to be a Mark II. It's 100 items coming out. And it's a Mark III belt afterwards. So This is the iron right there, huh? Yeah, this is going to get a bit messy. Okay, it should all fit still. So I think what I'm going to do here... I know this could be a Mark I belt. I'm just doing this for my own sake. So do not worry, I am aware. Okay, there's that. Then all we gotta do... I just wanted to... There we go. Okay, do something like that. So that's the iron taken care of for the foundries. Granted, this is not quite going to produce enough, but that's okay. I think we'll be okay on that. So let's go ahead and get the mergers set up for the foundries. I don't know why that's on a red thing. It's already connected, so that's strange. There we go. Interesting. Okay, so we've got that done. Need to get coal. That's easy enough. We're just sticking a coal miner like here, feeding this. That runs that. iron is coming in, so I just need to stick an iron node with a miner right here. That's doing that. So, alright, we've got our steel. Do I have space for constructors? It's because if I have 5 foundries, I can do 5 constructors of steel pipe. And this is going to be 40. So really you want to do 3 of them in a place. Okay. Steel pipes. Great. These are going to need a merger. I know this is kind of like crammed in, but you know what? We need these to run our deals anyway. So if I can fit all this up here with the screws, that's actually 2 items instead of just 1. So it's actually utilizing the space more than what I thought it would be, right? Like, I was only planning on putting the screws here, but it works out that we can also have our steel pipe up here. So that means I actually want to change these into double holes, maybe. Break this. Shoot, not what I wanted to do. Okay. Let's get back in there. So screws. This would be for steel then. It's only 30 that's coming through here. So we can use a tier 1 lift and tier 1 belts. Alright. Now, let's split. That's the merger for them, so let's split it. Okay, now we got the target points. So this will do 2 of them. And the third one I just need to place the constructors for. I know these belts are not going to be ideal, but meaning they're not perfectly placed and stuff, but that's okay. Do what we can, get it, just placed is good enough, frankly. So there's that. So this is taking how much steel? 90 steel. So that'll be running off of 3 of these. So I guess ooh, I need space for coal. Shoot. Yeah. That's going to take 2 tiles, so can't really fit it here because I need machines to go there. That was dumb. I should have placed that node first. Okay. Well, I guess what I could do is use like a floor hole maybe. Okay, great. Do something like that. Okay, not pretty, but it'll do the job. I think this will work pretty good. Then on this, I want to merge first, and then I think I will use a smart splitter. Alright, that is both the screw... Oh, I need to connect that belt. Fair enough. I need a reinforced iron plate, so... Oh, I'm one short. That is unfortunate. Okay. Fine. There we go. Okay. So, that is everything set up, except for we need to place a coal node downstairs, and we need to place an iron node right back there. So I need 2,000 iron ore, and I need 2 miners for the iron. Then what I need for the coal, if I just use a pure node with a tier 1 miner, that'll do more than enough, so we'll just do that. And this will be where the iron goes. We'll figure out where the coal is going to go in just a moment. Let's go try and pick some stuff up. So I need to have, like, a ton of inventory slots right now. Rotors, I actually want to keep a hold of a fair few. That's a start anyway. It's definitely enough to get at least one pure node, so 2,000 plus the couple miners, so we can start with the iron, and then just kind of play it by ear. I am going to grab more reinforced iron plate while I'm down here, though, because we need that. There we go. Just a little bit of the platey goodness. Yeah, I'm for sure going to need to go out and expand our power again. I kind of want to set up solution heaters for that, ultimately. So I'm just going to hold off and do that in a future episode. We're sitting okay. I think we're able to support these 3 manufacturers once they're online and all the buildings that are going to feed it by building like modular frames and such. But yeah, I think this is kind of going to be the last factory we can build with our current power setup. And there's quite a few options we have available. I could build more wind turbines. Those are pretty bad. I could build solar panels. Building a factory for that is actually quite easy. Let me know in the comments down below if you'd like to see me build a solar panel factory at some point. It's very easy to set up. Those come from the refined power mod, so if you're not playing modded, you're not going to have solar panels. But anyway, you should know that. You probably already knew that. No worries. Let's come right on over here. Place our node. Bam. Mark II miner. I'm in the way. thinking it's this wall then. What's that? All right, there we go. There's the iron. Let's go grab the coal, get that node placed on the bottom floor. Then we'll have our screws and our steel pipes for this facility up and running. I think on the coal, I'm gonna build one more miner and just place a pure node with a tier 2 miner on it. We're likely gonna need that much because I know I have to build more foundries and more steel because we're trying to make encased industrial steel beams. That takes quite a bit of the old sorry, I lost count. We need quite a bit of steel is what I was trying to say, to build the remaining 2 items. So the modular frames, we can do that with just iron if we wanted to. I think it's going to be better to do a blend of iron and steel, frankly. A, the ratio comes out a lot easier, and B, it's a little bit cheaper, I believe, overall cost to do it that way. So I need coal for that. I also need coal for industrial steel beams or industrial encased beams, whatever they're called, the like gold bar looking dudes. These guys right here, encased industrial beams. Those take quite a bit as well, meaning they require you to have a lot of steel plate. So we're just going to drop a pure coal node right there, say, put a Mark II miner like that. Then I can take this. Just connect them. And ultimately what's going to happen is this guy will get split. We will end up taking quite a bit of the power, or not power, the ore for use in foundries down on this level of the building. But we can take the 80, I believe is what we need, coal ore off of the 240 that we're mining and send that straight upstairs to run our foundries for the steel pipes needed for the manufacturers. So, easy enough. We've got our iron spooling, that's great. So the screws are already going in. Excellente. We've got some iron trickling and the carbon dust trickling to get us our steel, or our foundries rolling. So we're probably another couple minutes away before we have any steel pipe. This is steel ingots. Why are these not exporting? Oh, there aren't any. It's waiting for carbon dust. Duh. Okay, I can read a machine, I promise. That's okay. Not a big deal. Actually don't want that to connect right there. I actually want it on that line. There we go. Looks like we are just waiting on the carbon dust. Oh, because I don't have it hooked up. Silly, silly me. Okay. A long weirdo belt, but that's okay. That'll get the steel flowing. So cool. You got screws and steel pipes set up. Awesome. So halfway to there, we need mod frames and encased industrial beams. I think, though, what I'm going to do, we're already over an hour of time. It's probably going to take about that much longer to finish building this. So I think what we'll do is we'll come back. We're going to separate this into 2 or 3 episodes just to make it a little more manageable for people. I know this one kind of got away from me. This was a little more complicated than I thought it was going to be, but we're halfway there, so we'll do the other half probably in the next episode. But yeah, so part 1 of 6 heavy modular frames per minute complete. Here we go. Next time we're going to do part 2 of this and get our encased industrial beam and our modular frames automated to make these 6 frames. The screws and the steel pipes will slowly trickle. Ooh, that's not great. Why is this a mixed belt? I don't want that. What was this supposed to be? Why is this? Oh, this is a steel belt? Shoot. We will just replace that. There we go. Okay. Okay, there we go. Weird. Okay, well, there we have it. I think we're going to wrap it up here for today, guys. If you enjoyed the episode, be sure to like, comment, subscribe as always. Like I said, next episode is going to be us finishing this out by building the other two items for heavy mod frames. In the meantime, though, hope you enjoyed. Until next time, this has been Lone Debater 7, and we will see ya.